Hi, this is Dave Adams with Learn to Trade and Invest. Friday. Friday was like Friday. We had a little action early on, and then I got a couple quick trades in. And then we got into kind of a long kind of channel that was kind of drifting south, but really not of any measurable amount or tradable amount. As you're going to hear me talk about, consolidation patterns and channels are my least favorite activity. Yet there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that just absolutely love to toss their hard-earned money at these particular formations. So, without any further ado, we'll go ahead and look at the first chart, and you can see there was a pretty good breakout move right at the start, and I traded this, and it's kind of a two-piece move right here, and both trade obviously was a move to the upside, and I think we got out somewhere up here, and then that was that swing high was kind of where the doldrums began, and as you can see, this swing low kind of outlines the bottom part of the channel, and here's the top part, and it was about a 2-point channel. We had it stepped down from time to time, a little bit right here, but then it raced right back into the channel, and then of course the last half hour we had a little bit of action. I'm not a huge fan. I'll trade to after 2:30, but the market can be pretty unpredictable, and it's a pretty good way to part with some of your hard-earned cash if that's your inclination. So the day really started here, and then we just we got into a pretty tight pattern throughout the rest of the day. You can see all the charts. The volume was very low. The momentum was not so much, and the squeeze chart really just didn't have anything to talk about it. On a boomerang chart, it looks just about the same. Nothing of any consequence. So, and we had quite a few people in the trading room, so I got to listen to a wide variety of comments. I'm not really one to correct people. I mean, there's lots of different ways to trade, but people have become convinced the old days were better, and it's kind of like that throughout the world. It was always better a while back. To my way of thinking, the markets, the volume's been light for several days in the last week, so it's not didn't surprise me it was light again today. Had lots of guys, despite my consternation, try to make little bits here and there, and there were guys taking 2 and 3 ticks, and depending on your broker, that might have covered your trading costs and exchange fees. I don't really know. The thing that I really try to emphasize, and what I really believe about channels is they're not very good to trade out of, and it's not a wise thing to try to. And as you can see, throughout the course of the day, we'd have little shots at breakouts. They would mainly fail. Here was one here, failed. There was one that kind of went here, and people would get really excited. But channel trading is treacherous, and I live about 100 miles south of Chicago, so it wasn't warm enough to go golfing, but had it been warm enough to go golfing, that would have been the proper course of action. The people who are who are in my trading room or who are in my training classes, I really, stress that, consolidating patterns are just that. They're patterns, especially the longer they get. That are very hard to trade. They can be very, very unpredictable, and there's no real reason to risk your hard-earned capital trying to trade them. The market's hard enough to trade when it's moving. When it's not moving, basically you just get stuck watching, it move from one tick to the next tick for, there were times it went on for 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, it was like watching paste dry, and it was awful, just awful. I was reading books and singing songs and all sorts of things. So my point is that if you find yourself in consolidating or a channel or a consolidating pattern, eventually the market's going to move. It may not be that day, but they've been around for a long time, and it doesn't mean the market's suddenly changed the whole way it approaches the world, and things are shot. It's just one facet of hundreds of facets that the market can display. So anyway, we had 2 quick trades, and that was that. We have a training course, and I do private mentoring, and of course we have a trading room. I try to keep the room small. My parents were teachers, and they always taught me that the smaller the classroom, the better you go. It got up to, at one time in my career, it was up to 100 people, and it was bedlam. I mean, out of the 100 people, 20 were experts, or at least thought they were, and, you get a wide variety of ideas, and to my way of thinking, we're really geared towards newer traders or traders who are having a hard time and trying to get them, straightened out. A really important thing is, I'm not promising you the world. I can make you a better trader, and you can learn to trade successfully. I mean, and success in my world is just trading consistently. There's lots of claims making 5, 6, 7, 800, 1,000% a month. Like, I was just, again, look at them every day. I'm not going to do that consistently, and it's doubtful you will either, and it's doubtful anybody else is either. I try to focus on sound technique. I'm a chart trader, so I'm interested in support and resistance and things like that. We'd love to have you. Again, hope you're having a great weekend. When you get into consolidation patterns or channels, resist the temptation. There's a lot of false breakouts and a lot of unpredictability, and it's tough to make a buck doing it that way.